Hi, it's Marilyn Price. I love this project storybook. You have to listen really carefully though, so you can do it as well, especially those of us who have clothes that we love but are looking a little shabby. I certainly can relate to that. So, first of all, welcome to the Mentor Project and the way we tell stories. You tell them, I listen, and you listen, I know really well. And pass them on to other people too, because these stories are all on Facebook. And we have a podcast that goes on Saturday mornings, excuse me. You can sign up to get notices of it. Today's story is an old story told in a new way. So I myself have told it, hoping that you have told it too, or listened to it. So let me show you the jacket cover. I think that's very appropriate. The jacket cover is the piece that covers a book. So the book is called Joseph Had a Little Overcoat. It's by an author named Simms Tapback, and he won, as you can see, a Caldecott Prize for this book, this amazing story that is quite simple, really relates to all of us, and simple is a good thing. That means we can remember it. So let me show you what he did. You know what? I'm going to save it for the end because you'll see why it's so important. Now, if you've ever watched anything we've done before, you know that I love to reuse things. For example, this used to be a milk carton, still is, and turned into a couple of things. Once in a while, I turned it into a cow, putting a cow head on it, and it would say to you, "Moo," which is cow for hi. How you doing this morning? And then at one program, we made it into a a, um, a place that birds can come and feed off of, a bird feeder. So what we've done, and then it just hangs. Some people hanging from trees. I once was taking a walk and I saw all these bird feeders on trees hanging all over with a little bit of something for the birds. Very nice. On my bird feeder, I said, home sweet nest, I suppose. So rather than toss out, we reuse. Now, this is when sometimes I make soup and it comes in a box. I don't give any free advertisement here, but one of my favorites. But look what happens to a box. When you empty it, of course, put your hand in it. Again, I remind you, if you're listening but not watching, you can watch and see what we're doing here on our podcast. Or, excuse me, the podcast is what we listen to on our Facebook page, on the Mentor Project, or YouTube too. So here's a box that has turned into a puppet. You can put a picture of your face right on the top and move it around to tell our story. But today is a story about a man named Joseph who loved his overcoat. Now, an overcoat is a long coat that you wear over your clothes. So, what I want you to think about maybe is something you love to wear. And sometimes the things that we love to wear, they wear out. We hate to give them away, right? Because maybe they have great memories. So, this is what Joseph, the character in our story, did. He, wait, I think we need a visual. So this is what I did. I did a couple of things just for you. If you look back here, I drew an overcoat. It looks kind of like the overcoat in our story. Now, maybe you have a raincoat even, or a coat that you put over other things, an overcoat. So I drew this here. So very simple, clean lines. That's what I want you to think about because you can tell the story there. So as we go along, for example, let's say this overcoat got so shabby that you want to make it into a jacket. You could quite literally just, so to speak, cut it off there. Another way to cut it off? With the scissors. So if you want to hang and tell the story, you lift up this little piece of paper. I'm going to go off screen for a minute and just do it like this. All right, so you can do it that way. And that's me. Oh my goodness, I'm not doing a great tailor's job here. But I'm cutting it off. So the jacket that was a jacket, excuse me, the long overcoat became a jacket. Mm-hmm. How easy is that? So, but for you, my friends out there, I have made a jacket that is going to symbolize Joseph, because Joseph uses each and every one of his inventions to do something. So get ready. I took a piece of paper, purple, like the shirt I'm wearing. Bigger the better. You can make a long overcoat. And I can do this for you while showing it to you or talking. I can do a couple of things at the same time sometimes. Jackets are kind of simple. I'm not suggesting that I know how to make one, but you know, so let's pretend we folded it in half, because most jackets are the same. Now, just in case you're cutting and talking at the same time, I'm going to cut over my wastebasket. Now, that's the shoulder. I'm turning him upside down in his head. Then I'm going to make a V right here. And that would be how Joseph, see the jacket behind me? He's got lapels on each side of it. And then I'm going to come up from the bottom to make sleeves. By folding in half that way, Joseph will have 2 sleeves, 1 for each arm. Very handy. Way too long, right? Okay, so I'm going to shorten the sleeves. Boy, would that life were that simple, huh? Then I'm going to open it up, and we have an overcoat for our friend Joseph. So, you ready to design our story as we go? Okay. Now, if you, oh, look at that. See, he's even got elbows. Joseph, such a guy. How'd you get elbows? So this makes a puppet, actually, right? If he wanted to go dancing in his coat, he could do that. So I want you to think about that, what you can do with paper. Make it into a puppet. Make it dance. You could even wear it. What do you think? How do I look? In my coat? My long overcoat? Okay. Ready to tell our story. Simms Tapback, a name to remember when you go and find or look at this book. Joseph had a little overcoat. It was old and worn, so he made a jacket out of it. So here we go. We're making a jacket out of his overcoat. Joseph had a little overcoat. It was old and worn, so he made a jacket out of it and went to the fair. Joseph had a little jacket. It was old and worn, so he made a vest out of it. Okay, here we go. And danced at his nephew's wedding. Joseph had a little vest. It got old and worn, so he made a scarf out of it. Oh, what am I doing? I am making a scarf, just a strip of wood. Joseph had a little vest. It got old and worn, so he made a scarf out of it and sang in the men's choir. Joseph had a little scarf. It got old and worn. He went to visit so he made, he made a necktie out of it. Wow, how are we going to do that? That shouldn't be too hard. I'll make a necktie as if I knew how to make a necktie. So let's see. Let's pretend it's a necktie that actually has been, okay, you ready? Tied with a knot over Joseph's. Okay. Joseph had a little scarf. It got old and worn, so he made a necktie out of it and went to visit his married sister in the city. Joseph had a little necktie. It got old and worn, so he made a handkerchief out of and drank a glass of hot tea with lemon. Joseph had a little handkerchief. It got old and worn, so he made a button out of it. And used it to fasten his suspenders. Joseph had a little button. One day he lost it, and he had nothing. So Joseph made a book about it, which shows you can always make something out of nothing. Simms Tapback told us a story. He went from the overcoat to the coat. Then he had a vest, and from the vest he had a scarf, and from the scarf he had, remember? Oh, from the scarf he made a necktie, and from the necktie he made a handkerchief, and from the handkerchief he made a button, and then when he lost it and he thought he had nothing, he made a story. And that is what Simms Tapback did. Not only did he make a story, he wrote a song. I had a little overcoat, much too old to sew. Much too old to sew. He sewed a story out of this. And I told it to you. So sometimes when you think something is too old to wear, that doesn't look good anymore, but you love it so, there are lots of choices, because you never have nothing. You always have something. And one of the things I have here at the Mentor Project, is I have people to help me. I have Debbie, who is always there to help me and guide me. And I have Jibby and Aiden and Tina. And I have you. I have two very special friends as well, the Kaufman Family Foundation and Try Braining Inc., which support us and make sure that we are here for you. So I always have something, even if I can't see it. There's always something. There is never nothing. I thank you for coming to the Mentor Project today. And this is a fine example of what Joseph's jacket looked like. Do you have one of these at home? I do. And sometimes I wear it just for fun. Have a great day. Have a great week. A week of great.